So many thoughts and emotions that we can have in one day. Probably thoughts and emotions that will leave you frustrated or to think that you're crazy. But deep within our own selves, our best version is waiting for us. And what keeps you to heal is your own healed self. So it's time for healing. And healing equals awakening.
And so many of us want to awaken to this greater version. We want to live our dream life. We want to embody greatness. But this unhealed portion of ourselves, our unhealed patterns, keep us stuck. When right in front of us, the entire time, we have the opportunity to rise up. It's time to evolve. And it's time to awaken to more of you. Are you ready to start manipulating matter? Welcome back to What's the Matter Coaching. My name is Oscar.
My name is Crystal.
But before we start, 3 questions for you.
What's the matter with you?
What's the matter with the world?
And what is matter really?
3 questions that allow us to understand ourselves on this life path, on this human experience, to unleash our potential. So let's start off with discussing what's the matter with you, right? What's the matter with us, okay? The people. So we have here this topic, right? Today's video, healing equals awakening. Okay, so what's the matter with us? Why is it that so many of us are unhealed? And that points us to that direct core, right? The core of the matter, which is that we have not healed. We have not healed ourselves, so we live this life, okay, and we behave with our thoughts, emotions, and actions from a place of misinterpretation. We act from a place of hurt. We act from a place of the past instead of acting from a place of the present, okay? So making assumptions, classifying and stereotyping people, instead of giving them a fresh outlook or understanding, right? Accepting them for who they are. We accumulate bias within our lives. We have a very heavy duality consciousness as a humanity. You say, and this is the way that we're acting and the way we're living our lives. Yet, all the while, we expect to live our dreams, to be completely happy, and to be completely blissful. But to be completely happy and blissful is to heal. And then from that healed place, when you're happy, when you're blissful, when you're whole, there is no judging. There is no, I'm better than you, because you're already fulfilled. So what do you get out of imposing on another what you have or who you are, okay? And projecting your unhealed portions for power over them. Because aren't we all just trying to be happy, heal, and awaken to our dream life and life's purpose? Okay, so now let's move on to what's the matter with our world, Crystal, right?
Yes.
So we understood the core of the matter, which is that we're acting from this unhealed place. So that means that everything that we do, which is our creative potential made manifest, okay, because we're constantly creating with our thoughts, our emotions, and our actions. So that means every single person in a society, in a culture, in a world is all exchanging ideas, interpretations,
From the
thoughts,
same place.
and emotions from the same place. And so this happens on a massive level. And on a massive level, what do we see, Crystal?
So hurt people hurt other people. And when we tap into the massive scale, we can see all the violence and all that is happening in our world. That is people who has not given themselves the chance to heal and to start living life from that portion of ourselves,
Which is whole.
From wholeness.
So, and that's the thing. If we have a whole entire world that is not living from a place of wholeness, what do we have? We have a chaotic and we have a corrupt world. Because those who are not whole are fragmented, okay? When you are not choosing your whole self, you are cutting off your healed and blissful and loving portions, and you're settling for that fragment. You're settling for that wound, that trauma that you don't want to become aware of, that you don't want to integrate, that you don't want to love, okay? So you see, we start to avoid this healing process. But again, like we said at the introduction of this video, healing equals awakening. So if we are to awaken to our greatest versions, to our life's purpose, and to an expanded state of consciousness, or connected with reality, source, universe, it's to heal. It's to look, right, interpersonally at all those things, all those scars, all your beliefs that you don't like to share with people, all your secrets, right, that trigger you because you don't want to talk about them, because you're hiding them. Bring them out into the open, into the light, set them free. Set your secrets free. When we start to do this, and we use all these methods, we are becoming transparent. We're becoming whole once again. We're becoming purified. We're becoming our pure, divine selves. It all leads back to this very beautiful representation of why we're here living the human experience. That we're not here to project, we're not here to hurt others, but we're here to learn about ourselves. We're here to become aware of our shit, right? So we can shit, right? Flush and move on into the next chapter of our lives from a very healed place.
And this keeps you stuck. When you stay unhealed, it keeps you stuck, and then keep repeating the same loop over and over and over and again.
And this becomes the pattern, right, of humanity. That when we go out to, let's say, the mall, right, and we go out to a restaurant, or we go to a family reunion, we start seeing the repetitive pattern of the way people act. Society, which is our social behaviors as a collective, start to resemble repetition, right? People are talking about the same thing over and over again and not moving anywhere. So as if we are stuck in time, because everybody is stuck on a certain level of perception and a certain level of reality. So because you're stuck on a certain level of reality, does that mean that that's all the reality there is?
No.
And that's the thing. That's when it comes to awakening. For those of you who are watching this channel, who are awakening, okay, who are healing, which equals awakening, you are starting to uncover that you are not just here to waste all of your energy on just personal needs, body needs, but that you're here to really uncover a deeper truth. You're here to apply yourself, right? You're here to learn to embody and expand the state of consciousness, more of your energy, more of your potential.
You're here to be.
And to be. And your beingness, right? What it means to be is to be your whole self. But how are we going to be whole if we have our unhealed portions trapping us? So this is then to point at the uncomfortable portions of our journey of self-discovery, your journey of enlightenment. Yes, there's going to be probably times where you're going to encounter states of being uncomfortable because you're dealing with things that you did not want to look at and within yourself, because
probably don't want to even let go or something.
Or things that you don't want to let go, and probably due to your own ego, right, your own personality that was like, I don't want to deal with that, I don't want people to see me this way, oh gosh, I'm not going to tell anybody this, I'm the only person that knows this, right? So then we start closing ourselves off, we start fragmenting, we start separating from real reality, and we start going into our own illusions, our own bias, our own projections, and what is convenient for us. But what is convenient for us is not what's going to set us free, and what is going to set the world free. Okay, because if we are to create heaven on earth, if we are to all live our dream life and coexist as a species together, it's to all be whole and aligned with your true self, which is healed and which is awakened to deeper understandings of reality. And may you arrive at that just by watching this video and to understand a little bit more of how this has to do with all of us.
So, okay.
The last one,
that's what I was going to tell you. We already talked about what's the matter with you, what's the matter with the world. Let's talk about what is matter and how what is matter related to this topic and subject.
Yep. So this is the topic that, we love to talk about, even though it might sound repetitive, but there's many different ways of understanding it, many different ways of tackling this perception, this understanding, which is life itself. Okay, what is matter really? So a lot of the time, since we are unhealed, right, and our unhealed versions is basically what has been conditioned to us by our parents and by culture, by the government. All these things contribute to the portions of you which are unhealed, because we have a lot of unhealthy patterns within our society, right? Making people feel less, like you have to go after material things to feel powerful and all these things, right? That's the whole game. Now let's go back to matter, right? Let's understand what matter is. When we start to understand and ask the question, what is matter really? We then go to understanding our latest science. We start learning to understand what governs our entire reality. And so now that you made it to the end of this video, when we talk about what is the matter really, it points directly to you, right? On your path, on your journey, so you can awaken to the fact that the matter that you see in front of you is energy, an energy that's receptive to your own conscious command, meaning that you have literally the super potential, the superpowers to go from point A, wherever you are right now, and you can heal yourself, heal your energy, and you can shift into your dream life. And you do this by awakening to what is matter really, getting updated. Watch just a couple more of our videos. We have a lot of content in regards to understanding the fabric of reality, how it's very simple, but yes, it does sound phenomenal. It does sound bizarre at times. And this is the whole knowledge. This is the awakening, right? This is what you're awakening to. You're awakening from your own temporary human life that you've been taught, that you've been living. And you're moving into a new perception. You're moving into a new state of being, a being which resembles the power of creation, the power of the universe. And we're starting to resemble eternity. We're starting to accept as a humanity that we do not just finish living this life when our physical body dies. No, no, no. But that there's much more depth to us. And that we are eternal. And that once this lifetime is over, we then have another lifetime or another plan for ourselves and our consciousness. We're here for a purpose. Healing equals awakening. This is the purpose that's right in front of you. What are you going to do with this purpose? And how will you begin? Because if you're not beginning, you're staying stuck within time, and you're staying stuck within the loop, which is unawareness. A loop which is repetitive, and a loop which is not mature in its consciousness. As you can see, what's the matter with us? What's the matter with the world? The world reflects to us and demonstrates to us how are we all behaving and where it's leading us. It's not leading us to the new world until we choose to heal and then move forward with our awakening process. When you awaken, when you heal yourself enough, the awakening is going to be super easy. You're going to be able to apply and learn all the information and apply it to your reality because you're coming from this healed place. But if you're unhealed, you're going to have all these patterns, all these conditionings, those unhealthy thoughts, those unhealthy patterns getting in the way of you trying to go after your dreams and your potential as a energy, as a spirit, and as a soul.
And putting yourself down as well.
I just noticed I'm pointing a lot, but I do love pointing, okay? So I'm going to be honest there. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Healing is awakening. Healing equals awakening. Healing/awakening. However you want to perceive and understand this, it's all one thing. It's all happening at once. Do you want to take the organized approach, or do you want to keep going back and forth, right? And, really experiencing this path with a lot of stress. It doesn't have to be stressful. It just takes getting yourself in order. Organizing for success. The success of your life here on earth. Let's evolve.